Good evening, and welcome back to the weird and the wonderful with Strange Bones. Jared Mosley, welcome. This evening. So, tonight, on our live, I don't even know how to pronounce that name. Good gracious. But welcome to all of you. Welcome to the weird and the wonderful with Strange Bones, and the place where we explore just about anything that's weird, curious, interesting, or just because we feel like it. We try for the supernatural and the paranormal because that's kind of the point, and we like that. But having said all of that, we don't necessarily agree with, disagree with, believe, not believe, or any of the things that we discuss. We just discuss them because they're there to discuss. Louise Duplessis, welcome. The aim of the channel is to satisfy curiosity, to do a little research and learn a few things and enjoy ourselves. We have only one rule on the entirety of the channel, and that is don't be rude. If you are rude, then we give you the boot. You can agree, you can disagree, you can give your opinion. We absolutely support that. In fact, we encourage that. We truly love it when people will give their opinions and especially make comments in the chats, because comments keep us going and we like comments. We also like, yo James, I hope you're in fine, fabulous form. We also like it very much when people support the channel and send lots and lots of likes and hearts, lots and lots of gifts, and why the heck not, because that makes us happy. But that said, like, share, subscribe, do all the good things. You can subscribe if you wish. There is a link, I believe. I think it's $5 whole, goodness gracious me, where you can subscribe. We love subscriptions. We have, I think, one at the moment. We are a fairly new channel, I think, but nevertheless, we would absolutely love it if you did. It would help support us massively. That would be amazing. There are links there to the doing thereof. I think that's quite possible. I think there's only one level at the moment. But we would love it if you did. So we can certainly do that. If you struggle with it, you can constantly let me know and I'll see if I can't. Goodness gracious, if you did that, you would cause my entire year. I think I would probably fall off my chair and pass right out, which would be amazing. But nevertheless, with all of that said, the aim is to have fun. And we are doing the second half today on conspiracies almost entirely about the oceans. So there you are. And we've been through a couple of them. What is down there, what might be in existence, and more. And what's really weird, as we discovered, I thought that the conspiracies would be the freaky ones, the hard to believe ones. No. As it turns out, what's really down there is far freakier than any boring conspiracy mere humans have come up with. Trust me. It gets bad down there. Ah, you're an absolute hero, sir, for that. Bless you indeed. I am truly impressed. I think that has made my entire year. It's certainly been more than I've got on the channel for a year. But thank you. And Oreo has arrived. But thank you for the support, James. I massively appreciate. And please be aware, if there are topics that you would like covered, make sure to tell me, because I do run out of topics. How are you, Oreo?
Fine.
You sound depressed. Why are you sounding depressed?
I'm not depressed.
Okay, as long as you are good. Are you just having a long day?
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay. And there is Ewan, the man. Welcome, welcome. So, were you here yesterday, Oreo? They've muted themselves.
Was?
Were you here yesterday?
No, I wasn't.
Okay, so you missed the first half. So let's quickly run over very, very briefly what we were doing yesterday, because this is the second half. So we decided to see if we could find what weird things might be said in mythology, in reality, all of that, what conspiracies, all to do with the oceans. Okay. Now, here is an absolute true fact for you. We have explored about 5% of the oceans. Okay.
Okay.
Huge thanks there to James. If that's going to be the trend for tonight, I'm happy. Thank you, and welcome to Jaden. So we know almost nothing about the ocean. With our massively advanced LiDAR scanning, we have managed to scan just about 27% of the ocean.
I'm going to sleep in 1 hour.
No problem at all. So the bottom line fact is we know virtually nothing about the ocean. I mean, in terms of knowledge that we scientifically can prove. We don't know what's down there. We know more about the surface of the moon than we know about what's under the oceans. And there's a lot of reasons, which we did go into as to why, and they're very reasonable. Now, it turns out that when it comes to creatures that are actually scientifically proved to be down there, it is far, far worse than what mythology says is down there. You think mermaids might be bad? No, they're pretty tame. You must see things like your giant sea spiders, your giant squid, your angelfish, megalodon sharks. Did you know that there are a couple of sharks that we have videos of? They are fully scientifically proved, that are over 6 meters long, and they are down there. Great white sharks.
No.
That is big enough to eat you as a snack. And there's at least 2 of them. Now, they say that if you go really deep, there might be bigger ones. This is science.
Yeah, I don't want to know.
Exactly. Fortunately, it'll make you feel better to know that these are both somewhere up around Australia and America side, not near us.
I'd rather know them than see them.
Correct. That is very wise of you. I see that Jay is having a hard time connecting for some reason. Let me send him an invite quick. Coffee, of course. Poor Jay. Where is he on my list of things? Jaden. Jaden, where did you go? Pop that multi-guest so he can say hello. I don't know why he's struggled to get on. Jaden, no.
Probably his Wi-Fi.
It must be, because he's not even on my list to join. Oh dear. Well, that's a bit sad. Oh, there he's back. Maybe it'll work. Jay, how you doing?
I'm good, I'm good. What's happening? There's barely anybody here, and excuse me, barely any likes.
I know. Well, we have only just started. We've been on for 10 whole minutes. So
You should be at 1,000 likes in 10 minutes.
I wish it was always the case.
What is random? So here's some loneliness, what? Lonely thoughts.
We haven't seen Endless Thoughts, we haven't seen Spooky Streamer Thoughts, and we haven't seen Caleb, and we haven't
Oh no,
seen Mickey
endless.
Mew.
I'm inviting endless,
Endless Thoughts. Yes.
yeah,
Okay,
and spooky, whatever.
so
Oh, what are we talking about?
second half of the conspiracies and more for the oceans. It got very, very interesting. And just to add creepiness to the entire thing, Mickey sent me a video that was taken by National Geographic of a giant squid with a diver near it. And yeah, I'm glad that they're
Oh, no,
only deep
was
sea.
it real or was it AI?
No, it was real. It was an absolutely genuine one from National
You're gonna have to
Geographic.
send it to me.
I
Because,
will.
you should see the new AI. Did it say like Sora on the side?
No, it was said National Geographic on it.
Oh, yeah, that's real.
Hey Kay, thanks
Oh
for the
yeah,
follow.
it's raining in my house. Do you think something's gonna happen to me like the Tokaloshi?
Well, you never know.
Don't say that. It's gonna come bite my toes off.
Apparently they like toes.
I like my toes too.
That is fair. Thank you,
What
Kay,
am I
for the
without my
likes.
toes?
Um,
Oh yeah, I see we have a new guest, Oreo.
yes, Oreo is with us. Absolutely. So it seems that all your buddies are joining on. That's great.
I've
And
been
I think the 14 people here should probably okay, 11 people should probably some like like the live.
This is good. Okay, so we went through what is down there, and the real stuff is really, 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 really freaky. The mythology is, well, it's mythology, so it's what you would expect. But then we get on to the conspiracies, especially what people, and I'm not saying any of this is true, I'm not supporting any of this, I'm merely reporting what conspiracies say. So, just in case there are any CIA listening out there, we are merely saying what people say is out there, according to the conspiracies. Just hammering that home in case I give visits from the Men in Black. So, what do people say? Yeah, well, you never know.
The Men in Black is crazy.
I mean, with that said,
Yeah,
so
I
what?
smacked a kid at school.
Oh yeah.
He was making fun of me, so I just gave him a little on the face.
And what did he do?
He made fun of me. Oh,
No, afterwards.
oh, um, he passed out
Oh dear.
Of tiredness.
Okay, fair enough. As long as we establish that. Yeah. Okay, so what do people
Oh,
say that governments are covering up, hiding, secretly doing? And the first and most obvious thing to question was, what about secret underwater bases, which is what we ended off last night. And as it turns out, they
no,
probably...
that's true. I've heard about that. That's me and my cousin when it was like my microphone. It was like 2016. Oh, I hate my phone. It was like 2016 or 2017. We were at the beach. When we went super deep, like I don't want to say that 10 meters deep,
Okay.
because we both never actually vaped or anything. So we just like went down. He couldn't breathe. He went back up. I also went back up. I don't know what he saw because he told me this, and I also saw like something at the corner of my eye. I like saw something like closing and opening, and I didn't
Okay.
know what it is, and then I saw a light coming out of it. Then I saw like I don't know what it was. It looks like another person like diving out.
Oh, maybe you saw one of the undersea human beings. But nevertheless, we have found that the government says that they haven't got underwater bases simply
That's a
because
cap.
it's way too expensive to run them and it would be too difficult to supply them. So instead, they're looking at
Aren't they
underwater.
billionaires?
Well,
If they're billionaires.
they're already saying that the cost would be in the billions. So it's
Yeah, they.
cheaper and more effective to instead research underwater mobile vehicles.
Or I don't know.
But certain civilian companies are researching long-term underwater bases. And if they ever get it
The rain is
right,
gonna make me fall asleep, make me stay up, make me scared.
oh, well, don't worry, we're getting on to alien bases next.
I don't want to sleep. And Alien Base, I've already heard a lot of some of those.
Well, as it turns out, we are trying to get long-term underwater cities. We haven't
Oh,
quite
and I heard about.
succeeded.
I know we like done with the like country things, but like I found a new like legend.
Okay, tell me.
I forgot the name, but it's Jamaican and it's like it's not a. I forgot the name.
You mean Duppies?
No, we already did that.
We did do Duppies.
I forgot the name. I'll check. I won't have it, but I'll try to look for it.
Cool. Okay.
And I'll message you it. La, la, la.
So, with that said, there are a lot of difficulties in long-term underwater living, and we haven't solved the problem of it yet. But if we ever get it right, I can guarantee that the varied governments would be very, very, very interested, even if they want to spend their money somewhere else. We also established that what they are trying to do is to create a transmedium vehicle. Now, this will interest you, Jay, seeing as I know you like video games. Well,
Yay!
a transmedium vehicle is a vehicle that can, without any major changes to its structure, go between all the mediums. So you can drive it on Earth like a car, you can fly it through the air like a plane, and you can drive it underwater like a submarine.
I've heard about this. It's on GTA,
Right, now,
Fortnite, and I'm just gonna fall asleep on the live, but I'm gonna mute myself so I don't the whole time.
all good. But that's what they're currently trying to make.
Oh, did you see the guy that disappeared because he made petrol out of plastic?
No, but I personally know a guy that was bought out who figured a way to make petrol out of sisal plants.
In South Africa.
In South Africa, he was bought out by Shell, and then they buried the technology.
Does he still know how or?
He does, but he had to sign an agreement to promise that he would never do anything like it again.
Oh, come on. No. My father will pay him like 500 grand per liter or something.
And
Just let him.
then
Because like,
he immigrated to America with lots of dollars.
oh yes, tomorrow my dad is selling my bike for, not mine, his, for 185,000 rand. And the guy is from Australia. He's saying he's gonna give it in cash. I'm like, he's not gonna do it. And he's like, he doesn't like to pay in card.
Well, as long as you can get it in your grubby paws before giving over the bike.
No, we didn't do it yet.
Get the money
And someone
first.
stole my ball. Someone stole my damn ball, so I climbed over their fence and I went to go get my ball back. Guess what?
What?
They put where it was on the ball. My ball.
People do things like that.
I'm scared. Someone's gonna say something. I'm closing my ears.
Matlatse, how are you?
I'm fine, and you? How are you?
Good, good, good. So, let us begin.
Oh yeah, and
Yes?
I moved into my new school.
Yes, you said.
Yay! I'm far. What? I am. What's 3 plus 7? I mean 3 plus 6. What is that? I don't know. I've been in there
9.
for more than. No. Wait. Oh, wait, 3. Okay, you have 3. I went in there the 3 of November. 6, 7. I've been in there for 2 days. No, what? Wait. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I've been in there for 1, 2, 3, 4 days. 80 hours. 80 and something hours.
It's good for you.
I know I'm so smart.
It's good for you.
No, it's not. I don't like school.
You will. Trust me, school is some of the best times you will ever have.
Yeah, when there's a free period, but
Wait till you
they
have to
just
work.
scream. And I saw someone got stabbed in 4K with a knife. No, why did I say that? TikTok, it was AI. TikTok, it wasn't me. It was a video. I mean, it wasn't a video. Help me out. You busy sitting there.
You dug the hole for yourself, my dear lad. Okay,
I'm not.
so
Okay, I can't see that.
we are starting off.
Oh, yeah.
So,
Bye-bye, I'm gonna
the
sleep.
next conspiracy to discuss before everybody goes away is underwater alien bases. Now, this is a big favorite, of course, of a lot of people. The idea that there may actually be aliens living under the ocean. And, of course, as we remember from one of our previous lives, the Dogon people who...
What about that?
Yes, they know exactly the layout of the Sirius star system, even though that most of it is not visible at all except with incredibly high-powered telescopes. And they are accurate and correct about it. And we've only just managed to see part of it now that we've got the technology. So, of course,
Can I say something?
you can say something.
I've seen an alien in real life, but no one wants to believe me.
You told us this when we did Aliens.
No, I didn't.
Yes, you did.
How do you know?
Because we
got
did the Aliens and you told us about it.
Okay, I'm trying to be smart over here. Just
You
let me feel smart.
Oh dear. So, amongst other things, they were then asked how is it that they knew about the star system, which they could not have possibly known about. And they said, the Nommo told us. Now, the Nommo, according to the Dogon, are basically alien mermaids. And they say that they taught them a whole lot of stuff and then went and set up their own place in the oceans. So according to the Dogon, the Nommo live in our oceans and have their own alien bases, which of course links to a whole lot of other conspiracy theories like what's hiding in the Bermuda Triangle. Now, according to most conspiracies... Hey?
The stuff that went inside the triangle just disappeared.
Yes. Now, bear in mind that the Bermuda Triangle is not the only place like that. It's just the most well-known. There's several places like the Bermuda Triangle.
I only saw that one. It's only that one.
No, there's a couple.
I thought. That's what I thought.
And they say at least that the government knows about it and have connections with the aliens that live there, but they cover it up. That's the major thing. And that's why anytime anything happens that's a bit weird, the government's quick to cover it up and say it's rubbish or try to explain it away.
I want to join the FBI and I want to do all this stuff. How do people even join it? What do they do for certificates?
Well, funny enough, I know somebody that is an FBI agent. And of
Okay,
course, the first question I asked them was, do you have Men in Black? And they said to me, well, I mean, come on, wouldn't you ask that? And they said to me, of course not, don't be silly. But then
But that's
afterwards,
like being like what you call the word dachar.
well,
Dry, because if you like get drugged, ed, you forget stuff. So
well, here's the thing. If they really did have it and it was a big secret, of course she'd say to me, no, they don't have it. So how do I believe whether or not she says is true?
what if he's just not an
You see?
FBI agent? What if he's a liar?
Well, there's that as well. So most conspiracy theories say that the governments know about the aliens, have dealings with them as well. And there are absolutely underwater alien bases. Now, if I was an alien, I will tell you, the place to hide is going to be in the ocean because, let's face it, we know so little about it.
Or you
Now-
could hide in the what do they call it? The Earth, not the core.
Well, the hollow
crust,
Earth theory. That was the other theory, that the Earth is actually hollow and there are lands inside it.
Or you could you could build something that looks like a cloud that could like change shapes, and you live on that cloud. So smart.
There you go. You are on a roll this evening. However,
I'm gonna become an alien.
the second biggest conspiracy that people like about the oceans is, yes, there is secret bases underneath the oceans where highly classified research and development of secret weapons and stuff is done. Now, they say that they don't. But as we have seen in the past, the government does cover up a few things, so maybe they're lying there. However, there are a couple of things which aren't explained that might be signs of either aliens or secret military technology or giant monsters beneath the ocean.
My brother's such a tattletale. I just wanted to look on his phone. He goes out the room. Dad, I tell you what to do something in my phone.
Oh, well.
Do
They,
you have any siblings?
I had two,
Oh, same.
but not anymore, I'm afraid.
Me too.
So, yeah.
I don't know why I'm saying it in a jolly voice. I'm sorry.
And TMG has asked to join as a guest. Should we let him on?
Wait, let me see the
We'll give him a try.
I'm scared. If one keeps, I don't trust.
He seems real.
I mean, yeah, it's a real person.
TMG, hey, how are you?
Hey, hi, the little Mickey.
Fuck, oh my gosh. Just
Okay.
get out, you kid.
So,
No, Mickey gonna rape you tonight.
and that is going to be a disconnect followed by a ban because
Yay.
and a report because I'm afraid that we do not permit language like that. I said to everybody,
What
if
did he
you
say?
are
Well,
rude, we will report you, ban you, get you kicked off TikTok, do everything we can to ruin.
Ugh, I don't. It doesn't let me ban him. It says profile picture, nickname, username.
Well,
Ugh.
there is that, but we are going to absolutely do our best to get them
No man, it's just a
entirely
fraud, like
away.
a loser.
No, I don't care. Sorry, you don't say things like that on a public channel.
Me?
No, not you, him. The
I didn't
things
even know what
that
he said.
I heard. I
What?
pay
Oh, he
attention.
said. What did he say? A swear word.
No, we're going to leave it there. So, the next
Oh wait,
issue that we
I'm
are
gonna be
covering,
listening. I'm gonna be listening, but I'm gonna be playing a game, so I won't be talking.
that's fine, fine, fine. The next interesting
glad.
thing is called the bloop. Now, what is the bloop? Now,
Wait.
this is
Can
one
I
of...
say it?
Yes?
It's a mythical. Did I just say mythical? It's a mythical creature that has like a huge mouth, and apparently they heard it in the ocean, and it was like it made like a bloop sound, and okay, my brother's in the home now.
You are correct.
And then they just said it was icebergs, but then they
You
got
are
like a picture.
absolutely correct. Well done.
Yay! Okay, now you have to give me admin. I'm just joking.
So, yes, the bloop was a powerful low-frequency sound recorded by the U.S. National Oceanographic and Atmospheric Administration, which is what NOAA is. You know how you always hear about these NOAA radios and NOAA warnings? Well, that's what NOAA is, the U.S. National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration. It was heard in 1997. Now, afterwards, scientists say they think it was ice sheets moving against each other, just as Jay said, but they don't actually know. The other options, which conspiracy theorists prefer, as you can imagine, is that it was either a massive unknown sea creature, very possible, given what's down there, or evidence of secret government testing, the truth about which was covered up. And we're actually going to go on to genuine secret government testing, which afterwards turned out to be true, just to show that these things do happen, just so you know. But we're not there quite yet. Now, the next thing is that there is a certain amount of question as why do we have NASA doing so much about space?
Excuse me?
Yes.
I have a theory.
Yes.
You know how the moon is like getting closer every like year or something, whatever?
Yes.
What if you know how like this must like the moon is round, it's not like just facing us with one flat side?
Yes.
What if there's aliens on the other side that's pushing closer to us with their hands? Oh, okay, my brother walking again. And it's like moving us closer, and every time the moon spins, it's like they move on with it.
I can tell you, I don't know about the moving it closer to us part, but I can tell you that there is a conspiracy theory that says that there are aliens on the other side of the moon and that the governments know about it.
Aliens could kill us. Why aren't they just going there and just zap them with whatever you can? Make them human.
Maybe they could zap us first, so we're trying to be nice. It's a thought. You don't know. Nevertheless, the moon is something for the future, so we will not go there tonight. But they do say that why do we work so hard about the moon, but they don't do anything about the deep ocean? And the answer is very simple. We do not have the technology to get into the deep ocean or to survive down there, and it is too dark, and no radio signals or signals of any kind could come back from down there, making it impossible for us to explore down there. It's easier for us to go to the moon than it is to go to the bottom of our own ocean, which is pretty impressive. So yeah, also it is incredibly expensive as well, but then I suppose that's a silly argument because so is going to the moon. But yeah, one conspiracy, however, is that the government's discovered so threatening and shocking down there that they refuse to go. And they're focusing on space exploration because they want to escape the planet. A little bit of an out there one, excuse the pun. Now, the next thing surrounding the ocean, of course, has to do with programs like HARP. What is HARP? HARP is the High Frequency Active Auroral Research Program. Essentially, for us non-scientific types, they are talking about weather manipulation and geoengineering. The ability to make it rain where you want, to control the weather, etc., etc. Possibly even using it as a weapon. And they are practicing it over the oceans in order to get the old weaponization of it. Because think about it, if you could guarantee a single lightning strike in a specific spot, it'd be the perfect cover for an assassination. I mean, you could just go and zap somebody with lightning and say, oh, well, shame, naturally happened. Isn't that sad? Nothing to do with us, cough, cough. So, yeah, that's one of the great big things. Now, we do know that there is absolutely research into weather modification. We know that there really, really is. Whether or not they have succeeded, however, is a completely different story. So maybe they did, maybe they didn't. But as reported at the moment, the answer is no. They have not managed to prove anything. But they do say that they would like to, especially cloud seeding for dry areas. Now, we do know that there is a certain lack of transparency or official explanation about a number of maritime incidents, especially such as in the Bermuda Triangle. And one wonders if that means that they know more than they are saying. Some people will tell you, no, it's just conspiracy theory. If there's nothing to say, the government don't say it. If they don't know, they don't know. Whereas other people are saying that, of course, the government knows and they're not telling. So you will have to make your own opinion on that. But there are plenty of conspiracies around that. Now, let's talk about times when the US government, and believe me, there are a great many governments out there, so it's not to say that we are attacking only one government here, but just as an example, times when the US government revealed secrets that it tried to keep hidden, that people afterwards were saying whether it was this or that, and the government knows, and it was all said to be a conspiracy, and then it turned out that the conspiracy theorists were right. So a very recent one, which may amuse you, of course, is the Jersey drones, which absolutely did happen recently in New Jersey. Who is operating the drones flying around? Why have they appeared? What's going on? And officials just said they don't pose a security threat. And of course, there were a huge number of conspiracy theories as to what was going on, and the government knows exactly what's going on. The federal government has a long history of covert programs, and the fact is actually, yes, it is the government that is flying those drones. We don't know why, but they have absolutely proved that it is the government doing it. So the government has a history of doing things like this. And it's been proved over and over again. So in 1945, the same year that it dropped 2 atomic bombs on Japan, the US government began experiments investigating the effects of radiation on the human body. Scientists administered doses of plutonium to 18 people over the course of 2 years, which included subjects like Americans living with terminal illness, children, and homeless people. Ed Cade, a construction worker from Tennessee, was one of the subjects. He broke his arm and leg in a car accident, and in March of 1945, doctors delayed treating his fractures for weeks so they could inject him with plutonium to see how it impacted on his bones. He died 8 years later. In the subsequent years, more experiments were done, expanding to incarcerated people, seniors, and servicemen, and they were all exposed to radiation without consent. In response to unethical Nazi experiments on subjects in concentration camps in World War II, a framework outlining the humane principles for medical research was laid out in April of 1947, understanding that they may have to answer for their actions. So American officials involved with the radiation experiments then classified them. Details about the experiments were hidden for decades, and it was only in 1994 when the Department of Energy launched an investigation into experiments conducted between those times that it became widely known. Further on in this, I will point out another thing. Now, all of you ladies out there, you probably know what a bikini is. But do you know where the name comes from? Well, the answer is it comes from the Bikini Islands, which is a real place. And the first smaller A-bomb was dropped on the Bikini Island, well, next to the Bikini Islands. And when they did it, they in no way informed or got consent from the people living on the islands in order to do it. They just dropped it. And the results were, as you can imagine, fairly catastrophic, with fallout and more that affected the Bikini Islanders to this day. So, yeah, atomic bombing was done without all kinds of protection on other people. So there's one thing that governments have done. The next incident that we will talk about was a cover-up about the Roswell incident, the famous flying disc, and we did cover this, in fact, we covered this when we did aliens and things to a certain degree, but there was a statement made that it was a found alien disc. Immediately afterwards, they said, no, it was a weather balloon. And then they sort of shut down commentary on it. But in 1994, when a lot of these documents became unclassified, we found out that it was actually a kind of a test for radar reflectors for Project Mogul, a spy program that they intended to use to target the Soviet Union. Hidden secrets they never told anyone about. Then you have MK Ultra. The CIA destroyed documents associated with experimental drug program. During the Cold War, a number of unconventional ways were explored to try and stay ahead of the Soviet Union. Between 53 and 73, MK Ultra explored a mind control drug, or a series of drugs, that the US could use as weapons. Drugging civilians and government workers without consent, the program researchers wanted to observe the effects of the drugs, which included LSD, hoping to make people biddable to carry out tasks like secret assassinations. This genuinely happened. Now, where are we going with this? Certainly not only the US is responsible, but the governments do things in secret. We know this for fact. So the idea that they may know something and have it covered up is not as conspiracy as you might think at all. It's perfectly reasonable because all governments do it all the time, and we know it for fact. I think that there are very few governments that don't do it, or at least don't cover it up, and they are usually, ironically, the most corrupt of the governments, who don't feel the need to cover up what they do because they're going to do it anyway, and what are you going to do about it? So there you go. Now let's talk briefly about USOs. Now you've all heard of UFOs. UFOs are unidentified flying objects. Well, USOs are unidentified submerged objects. So objects or sightings underwater that cannot be identified. These range from reports of unidentified objects with extreme speeds or transmedium capabilities, see what we said earlier in this video, moving between water and air without even a splash, to official explanations of large marine animals like whales or sharks. Now, we know that the US Navy has traditionally classified USOs as sea creatures or equipment. The term has been also adopted by ufologists to describe what might be extraterrestrial or unknown technology, citing a recent increase in reported sightings off the US coasts in recent years. Now, what could it be? Obviously, there are all sorts of explanations to try and let you know that it's safe out there. Natural phenomena or known objects. Maybe you couldn't identify it immediately, but there are large marine animals. The giant whale shark, which is pretty huge and monstrous, so that could explain certain things. We do know that there are military tests that are done for new technologies, foreign surveillance and all the rest of it, and they don't tell you what they're doing because the whole point of classified military secrets is that they are classified, I suppose. So people see things and don't know what they are because they're not meant to know what they are. That's kind of the point, I suppose. And then the third thing is that it could actually be alien technology or aliens. Perhaps we're not seeing alien ships, but the aliens themselves, who knows? There is that possibility. Now, in terms of all of that, we know that reports of USOs have in fact increased. Certain of the objects have been said to go at speeds over 125 miles an hour. Those of us who are South African and use kilometers like real people, you just basically double that. So over 250 k's an hour, which in water, that's really fast. While many UAPs, as they like to call them, unidentified aerial phenomena, have reports that turn out to be fairly innocuous, it's a lot harder to explain the sea versions Because, you see, it's so difficult to see in the ocean. There's a lot of stuff out there that we just don't understand. And visibility underwater is awful. We know that for fact. So it would be a bigger threat. I'm afraid, Rainy H, you have to be an established member to be allowed on the live. So unfortunately, we only allow people who've been on our live for a reasonable time, because we've had some very, very, very bad trolls. And in fact, tonight we had one that was saying revolting things, and we had to block and report them for that. So I'm afraid that we are very sensitive to the presence of trolls. We have more trolls than Sweden. Just saying. So if there was ever a threat, be it from aliens or other countries' military, the ocean is absolutely a weak spot. There is no doubt at all that would be an issue. So can we say that it is wise to be worried about what's down there? Yes, I think so. I think it would be very reasonable. Is it the government's doing stuff down there? Honestly, I think if they could, they would, but I don't necessarily think that they have the technology to do so at the moment, in my opinion. Make up your own mind on that. But that's where I stand at present. Now, we know for fact that there are a ton of secret military bases on land and research bases on land. We know that the Raven Rock Mountain Complex is one such. We know that Area 51 is absolutely a secret government research base. It's a fact. They don't deny it. That's why they don't let you in there. So there is absolutely no doubt of that. Can there be bases underwater? They want them. I'm going to say that. I certainly would like them. They are very, very popular in conspiracy theories. As to who runs them or own them is a different thing. They say that UFOs are seen emerging from the water, but they are supposedly not substantiated by verifiable facts or official documents or physical evidence. I don't know. I've seen some photographs and such, which I would wonder about. People are very quick to dismiss. Now, we know for fact there are land-based secret facilities. All governments have them. They have a history of developing highly classified facilities for testing advanced military technology. The U-2 spy plane was developed at Area 51, and it's an amazing piece of equipment, and absolutely, and yeah, it was developed at Area 51. It's not alien technology, it's human technology, and it's really, really cool. There are many publicly known military bases and facilities around the world for various strategic purposes, and we know they exist. So the idea or the theory of underwater bases is perfectly reasonable. Whether it's possible is different, but it's perfectly reasonable. Militaries use sophisticated underwater technology, including sensors and surveillance systems. There are underwater submarine docking stations, but they are usually part of existing publicly acknowledged naval operations and facilities, and they're coastal or port-based rather than deep ocean bases. So I think they would like deep ocean bases for a lot of reasons. I don't think they have them because they haven't got the ability. The engineering challenges surrounding a permanently manned base in the deep oceans are extraordinary. The engineering, the logistics, the life support, the communications, it's just beyond belief how difficult it would be. Now, some have claimed that they found government paper trails related to the construction of huge manned bases offshore through analysis of land survey and civil engineering contracts, but they are all speculation. So it's more a trope in fiction than any substantiated theory, and I tend to feel that it's true purely because I don't think that anybody at the moment has the kind of technology that would let you go as deep as you would want to make it a viable and useful underwater base, to be honest. You would need to be able to go quite deep, and that would present a lot of difficulties and possibly physiological changes to the people manning them, which of course leads me to the conclusion that if there ever are real mermaids out there, they will be made by us. Take that as a theory for you. I shall start my own conspiracy theory. Mermaids are real because they are humans genetically engineered. So what are the weird military bases out there? And are any of them any good? Well, we've got remote islands that track objects in deep space. We've got impenetrable underground bunkers, laboratories that deal with some of the most lethal diseases and stuff in existence. We know that's true. So what really is out there, and is it freakier than the conspiracies? Well, Erickson Air Station. Once a ballistic missile radar home in the 1970s, the old system is still in use, and the airstrip is used as an emergency landing zone. It is in Shemya in the Aleutian Islands. The location is about 1,200 miles or 2,400 kilometers west of Anchorage, Alaska, 200 miles or 400 k's east of Russia. So it's very desolate. It's used as a refueling station and an emergency runway, plus it's close enough to keep an eye on what's going on around there. I'm just saying. So, yes, an interesting so-called unused station. But is it? I mean, who's going to go all the way out there to that freezing place to find out if they're being honest? Probably no one. And with that said, as we move on to the next one, a welcome to those guys who snuck in and joined, such as JB, the unregistered user, Gaijin, P and C. Welcome, 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 welcome. And to all the others who have joined. And remember to like, share, subscribe, and send lots of hearts so that we can indeed improve ourselves as a channel. Welcome to Goblin Girl as well. But that said, Kwajalein Atoll. What is Kwajalein Atoll? This is an excellent question. Caleb, you've joined. Hello. And Spooky Stream of Thoughts has finally arrived. You're late. You should be punished, sir. And Emma has joined. But welcome. Yes. So what makes Kwajalein Atoll of any interest? It is one of the largest coral atolls in the world, and a base was put there during World War II. It's unique because apart from massive amounts of coral, missiles make up a major portion of the atoll. It's a test site for radars, tracking devices, missile launchers, and all of that kind of technology. And in fact, the first Falcon 1 rocket belonging to SpaceX was launched from this atoll. Now I'm just teasing, Spooky. I knew you would come eventually, and I figured something from home was keeping you back. I hope your sister is very, very well. So the atoll is made up of 97 small islands, and 11 of them are used by the United States. Because it's out of the way, you can test all sorts of different technology free of ship and radio traffic. It's on the site of the Space Fence, a radar array designed to spot and track small satellites and space junk. So it's an interesting spot. And it is a very real secret base. Fort Detrick, of course, another one. Founded in the 1940s as just Camp Detrick. It's in Frederick, Maryland, and it became the long-standing home for the U.S. military. Farms in Maryland joined together as Fort Detrick, the site of the United States Biological Weapons Program, meaning that the 1942 creation of this program that was developed after the Pearl Harbor attack was home to wild experiments of biological toxins, much of which you just don't want to know about. I'm terribly sorry to hear that, Spooks. Yeah, I'm sure she is. I'm very, very sad to hear that. You should bring her on to TikTok and she can amuse herself listening to us talk rubbish. I do hope she is feeling a bit better now, and you are a good brother to chat to her. So, using creations from the scientists at the fort, the US Navy ran 6 experimental attacks on San Francisco, sending ships just off the shore of the US city to release stimulants into the air. Once the warfare program ended in 1969, the site turned into the home of the US Biological Defense Program. I'm just saying that, by and large, there's a lot of stuff out there that scientists are freely experimenting on that really and truly, no, just stop it. You shouldn't. But we'll get into that in another live as well. Now, the next interesting one is in Norway. Olavsvern Naval Base. Originally constructed as a Cold War naval base, Norway sold the site and eventually leased it to the Russians, who used the space for research. Now the US Navy wants a piece of it. It's unique because, along with the Norway versus Russia backstory that started the site, which has flipped to Russia now, operating ships and planes within Norway, the location itself is quite a place. It's cut into the mountains, and the base includes buildings, bomb-proof areas inside the earth, and underground docks that connect to the sea. So, yeah, that's a bit of a worrying one. Now, Naval Magazine Indian Island. Washington State. It's a small island off the coast of Washington State. The US Navy purchased it on Indian Island in 1939. It's one of the smallest bases in the Navy, and it serviced a great many naval ships in their last stop before the Pacific Ocean ever since. It's unique because it is the final remaining deep water ordnance facility on the west coast without access restrictions. The small island helps ships as large as Nimitz-class aircraft carriers load and offload ammunition. It has more than 100 magazines of weapon storage located underground in domed mounds. Every ship leaving the northwest region gets supplied by this island, and it has the ability to service anything from US Coast Guard patrol boats to submarines to aircraft carriers. Yes, it was. That SpaceX booster landing is absolutely surreal. I mean, if there's ever going to be alien spacecraft, it may well be us. Just throwing it out there. So yeah, you want conspiracies connected to the ocean, this is the one. And it's real. Next up, the Siachen Glacier. India and Pakistan, they have a long disputed ownership of the Siachen Glacier and a 4-decade plus home for the Indian Army. It's unique because it's at 21,000 feet. It's not just the run-of-the-mill military outpost. It's so high in the mountains north of Jammu and Kashmir that both India and Pakistan want the site. The Indian Army has a basic and a controlling interest in two of the main mountain passes. With windstorms, snowstorms, thin oxygen, frigid temperatures, it's very expensive to operate and costly in terms of the number of humans that have not survived looking after the place. It's a serious hidden place. So yeah. Then there's Mount Weather in Virginia. This is a weird thing because this top secret site is run by the Department of Homeland Security as of 1974, but it's been around longer than that, with a history dating to the 1800s. It's unique with an origin story that is almost entirely unknown. It was born as a weather station in the 1800s, became a camp during World War II. There's an underground portion to the facility that they think comes from 1960, a training ground from 1980, and in recent times the eponymous Department of Homeland Security, the one, yes, it's the Falcon 9 landing thing that was the big deal, wasn't it? Huge thanks for those likes, by the way. The Department of Homeland Security is that government group that nobody talks about. I mean, everyone knows the FBI and the CIA hate each other and are severely dodged, but by and large, they're not a big deal. The guys you have to watch for are the quiet ones. Department of Homeland Security, right there, telling you. That's my conspiracy theory. It's housed high-level government during emergency situations, amongst other things. It's an entirely underground facility as well. During 9/11, Dick Cheney was there. It's home to the FEMA national radio system as well, The Blue Ridge Mountain site was not widely known until a plane crash in '74 near the site brought it to the public's attention because suddenly the reporters couldn't go there. So it was quietly secret. Makes you wonder, doesn't it? The Kapustin Yar in the Astrakhan Oblast, southeast of Volgograd in, yes, you guessed it, Russia. It was one of the first rocket and missile test sites established in '46. A year later, testing on the German A4 rocket began. First of the captured missiles was sent up in '47. It's unique because it's one of the very early ballistic missile testing sites, and it's the home of the very first suborbital animal flights. In '66, it was turned into a cosmodrome, and it still operates even today. Some of the famous Soviet dogs that went up in the '60s, including Kusachka and Otvazhanya, were among those that went up. The missile test site were also the location of 5 atmospheric nuclear tests I didn't even know about, and the site of a number of Soviet-era UFO sightings, so it's known to many as the Russia's Roswell. The nearby town of Znamensk was established in secret to support the scientists and engineers that worked at Kapuskin Yar, and no one was allowed to visit without government clearance, and it's not on any maps to this day. So if you want to know where the Russians get up to their Roswell stuff, it's there. We got Area 51 for the Americans. Well, what about the Harvey Point defense testing activity? North Carolina, 1940s military site, and right after the Bay of Pigs invasion in '61, it became a weapons testing facility and used as a training ground and spy school. What sort of spies are really out there? There's a good question for you. Maybe a future video as well. CIA testing sites as well, just to let you know about that. Apparently we have to very quickly prove that we are alive. Because that's how this goes. Though I can't find the hashtag anymore on my computer. But here is a comment to prove we are still alive, because TikTok can't tell by the fact that we're recording and everything and all the rest of it. Just so that you know. Why? I don't know. But there is a comment to prove I'm still alive. Now, we know that it's ultra secret, but there has been leaks. It served as a weapons testing facility, a training facility with everyone from the CIA, the FBI, counterterrorism, Navy SEALs, and units from other places around the world going through the site. So apparently it's like your hardcore secret. Who knew? And then the Wright-Patterson Air Force Base, in operation since 1917, unique because they specialize in reverse engineering. And it's been reverse engineering aircraft for almost 103 years. Especially during the Cold War, and Hangar 18 is where Area 51 brought the aircraft after the Roswell crash. Just saying. I'm not saying that they have alien technology, but they might have alien technology. Is it true? Well, I suppose it wouldn't be secret if we knew. In Toulon, France, we have the Toulon military port. It became a port as far back as under King Louis XII in 1514. And the arsenal was added in 1599, and it's been updated and is still in use as a military port to this day. Beat that. First naval base in Europe and home to more than 70% of France's navy. The arsenal on the east coast has continued to grow and evolve, and it was the place where the country's first iron ships were built, the first modern submarines, and more. So there you go. Very much new, very much interesting, very secret. Yulin Naval Base on Hainan Island in China, probably constructed in the 2000s. The Chinese turned the caverns there into a naval base to hold and conceal nuclear submarines. They took a resort island and turned the underwater tunnels into the entrance for a hidden naval base. Using technology in the mining and petroleum industries, it allows submarines to enter and leave without detection, turning it into a hidden, secret home for who knows what. The Emperor's son has arrived and has sent us gifties. Huge thanks to you. That's very, very, very kind of you. We have got roses and a heart. You are a true wonder there, Emperor's son. Seems we're getting visits from everybody tonight. It's very good. Then you have Thule Air Base. Now, that's in Quasutsup, Greenland. It's within 800 miles or 1,200 kilometers of the Arctic Circle. It is the most northern US military installation. The climate is not ideal. The port is only accessible 3 months of the year, so supplies need to come in summer. The base may be frozen, but the 12th Space Warning Squadron operates an intercontinental ballistic missile warning system from there, and the 21st Space Wing is in charge of space surveillance operations. Did you know the US had a 21st Space Wing? I did not. Throwing it out there. More to consider. One of the most interesting features is that all the utilities are above ground, because it would be too hard to access them underground if something went wrong, because they cannot get into the ground and then easily access them. So they're triple insulated and heat taped and everything, communications, sanitary, water, the lot, are all above ground. They've got Arctic vestibules, which allow a 24/7 access to shelter while ensuring that the buildings remain secure should something go wrong. There you go. Then you have the Dugway Proving Ground. Now this is getting even more interesting for you. We do like the idea. The Dugway Proving Ground is in the Great Salt Lake Desert in Utah. Within 2 months of the attack on Pearl Harbor, Franklin D. Roosevelt set aside the first 127 acres of Dugway Proving Ground, and over the past 60 years it's expanded to 800,000 acres. That's the size of Rhode Island. It's massive. So it's a brilliant place for testing defense systems against chemical and bioweapons and military-grade smoke bombs. During World War II, it played a vital role in the development of incendiary bombs. In order to test the fire-causing weapons, they built replicas of German and Japanese villages and even filled the villages with furniture as what would be found in the country. The remains of the villages are still there. And you can technically go and see them, I suppose, if allowed. Navy Support Facility Diego Garcia in the Chagos Archipelago. Tiny coral atoll about 1,000 miles from India, providing logistical support to forces in Afghanistan and Iraq. It's difficult to get things in there, and this makes it much, much easier to do so. But it is one of the only places that have a ground-based electro-optical deep space surveillance system for tracking objects in deep space. Makes you think. What else might they be hiding there? All kinds of things. So now, as we go through these, there's a lot more. There really are. Some of them are fascinating, like the one in the Cheyenne Mountains that can withstand multi-megaton attacks with 25-ton blast doors. A real safe spot, which is amazing if you think about it. What else is in there? We don't know. Now, and one which is more interest to us is the Lingiari Australia station, where they have what might very well be so many radars and such that it's said to be the UFO tracking and response place. Obviously, the government says it isn't, but it seems that there's a lot more involved than anybody knows. Throwing it out there. We know that Fort Detrick also has a number of infectious diseases and deadly microbes in there. And one of the modern conspiracies was that, in fact, it was from there that the coronavirus came. It was a made thing. That's what they said. Is it true? I don't know. Nevertheless, if you're a Fallout fan, you've heard of the Raven Rock Mountain Complex. Absolutely was used during the Cold War, and it's where basically the whole government will go if a major catastrophe does strike, because it's impenetrable. So, yeah, an amazing setup in that regard that is really quite mysterious. You can't help but wonder what else the government gets up to. But we do need to move along. Now let's talk about the carnivorous death ball. Yes, you heard that right. Now, what's really interesting about the new discoveries at the bottom of the ocean is that these are not mythological things. These are not speculative. These are genuine discoveries by genuine scientists. So a team went down, collected nearly 2,000 specimens across 14 animal groups, discovered in one trip 30 new species at this location, which is pretty damn impressive, including one called the carnivorous death ball sponge. Now, sponges in general eat by what they call passive filter feeding. In other words, silt in the water that it needs, protein and stuff, filters through it, and it chows on that. This thing has little hooks and things in order to catch its prey. There were also a number of armored iridescent scale worms, 3 previously unknown species of sea stars, isopods and amphipods, and more, which show that there's stuff down there that we have no idea about, including a new species of black coral. What does this tell us? Well, we also found that there is a thing called a zombie worm, formerly known as Osidax sp, which has neither mouth nor gut, but feeds by relying on the symbiotic bacteria to break down fats inside the bones of large vertebrae like whales. Does that make you scared yet? It should. Zombies are little, and they live inside you, making you a zombie, which is pretty awful. So that was pretty fascinating. We also then have a number of issues with conspiracy theories whereby things have been spotted that shouldn't. Science says it's not what was seen. Evidence might say otherwise. So, first of all, the megalodon. The megalodon is a very, very real thing, or it was. It's basically a prehistoric shark, a dinosaur shark, if you will. Huge, deadly dangerous. Now, it's been extinct for millions of years. Don't worry, it's fine. There's nothing to be concerned about, except science is now starting to wonder if it might not exist still. There is evidence like tooth marks in living whales and whale carcasses that were bitten in half. How big does the thing have to be to bite a whale in half? So we have issues with whether or not the megalodon is fake, because it might not be. Throwing it out there. The kraken. The problem is we've now found squid that are absolutely big enough to take down at least small ships. And these are just the ones that we found at depths that we can go to. Is there a possibility that even bigger ones are down below? Bottom line, the kraken is real. Yeah, baby. Then you have the Yonaguni Monument, which very, very quickly people have said is a rock formation that's entirely natural. But it seems to have man-made steps, like the lost city of Atlantis, which is really quite cool. Maybe it's real. Then you have the Baltic Sea anomaly, and I'm going to literally put a picture of this up for you guys because you deserve to see this. The Baltic Sea anomaly, what is it? Well, it's a photograph of an undersea thing which scientists say is a natural stone formation or a glacial deposit. I'm going to ask you to tell me what you think. Is this a natural stone formation or glacial deposit? If you say it is, I believe you. I'm happy with that. I'm not going to argue. What do you think? Is that an alien spaceship or not? I'm asking you. It is not AI. I don't know. Screen is frozen. Oh no. Melt it quick. You only see me. That is because I am all. I am everywhere. Well, I'll leave it up and hopefully it will come right and you'll be able to see it. But it looks like a spaceship to me. Absolutely looks like a spaceship to me. Now, we have, of course, also already discussed the bloop, which they said is just icebergs carving. But I doubt that. Can you see that then? Is that a natural rock formation? Do you think it's a natural rock formation? Yes? No? Maybe? Alien spacecraft? They don't tell us. They say it's a natural rock formation, but they know we're not going to go down there and have a look because we can't. But according to conspiracy theories, what it actually is that they will not admit is an alien spaceship that crashed down there. It is not stone. It's something else. This is the Twilight Zone. And that was a very, very old reference. I'm just saying. Now, along with the bloop, you also have the Julia. What is the Julia? The Julia was a mysterious sound detected in 1999 that was thought also to be a giant unknown creature, but science says no, it's icebergs colliding on the Antarctic landmass, which again makes no sense whatsoever. I think that looks classed as it's too strange for a natural rock formation. I totally agree with you, Spooky. It is absolutely, that is an alien ship. I'm telling you right there. That's my opinion. Now, going back to the Bermuda Triangle, one of the things which came out, which a lot of people are now saying, is that either the Bermuda Triangle is due to alien abduction, or it's due to interdimensional portals or time warps, or it's aliens using interdimensional portals and time warps, and they're keeping it secret. And that's why. Could be, could be. I like the idea. I'm happy with that as an explanation. So the Baltic Sea anomaly, which is a feature visible on a sonar image that was taken, unfortunately, not by the military, but by a Swedish dive team that were treasure hunting, and therefore showed everybody before they could be shut up. And it's in the Gulf of Bothnia, wherever the heck that is. But yeah, it looks like a sunken USO. Scientists say it's most likely natural. I don't see how that it can be at all. It looks crafted, I agree. They spotted it in 2011 while looking for a shipwreck. It's 60 meters in diameter, a circular object that features that look man-made. They went back and got a better scan as to what it might be, samples were recovered from the site, given to Volker Bruchart, an associate professor of geology at Stockholm University, and his analysis of the samples said that there are granites, sandstone, and gneisses in it, and a loose piece of basaltic or volcanic rock, which is out of place on the seafloor. The northern Baltic region is so heavily influenced by a glacial thawing process, you do get weird samples. They don't say that the samples were taken off the thing itself, just from the area. What could it be? They say that the pictures are not clear enough to make a proper identification. Distortions on a cheap, inaccurate sonar instrument that was improperly wired or calibrated. And for all we know, that somebody drew the Millennium Falcon onto a sonar image. All of which sounds like the kind of comment that says nobody knows and they don't want to admit to something. It's absolute rubbish. It would be very nice if somebody would go there and get a proper image in order to see really what it is. But it seems that nobody wants to do it. Why? That doesn't make any sense. It's like they're going to do it quietly while you're not looking, and you'll get back there and there'll be nothing there. Just saying. So, how realistic is it that aliens could hide under the ocean? We've seen enough underwater lights, fast-moving objects, things that seem to go out or into the ocean, and all the rest of it, that it's feasible. We know that we know so little about the depths of the ocean that it's feasible. We know that even professors like Avi Loeb in 2014 have said that there could have been interstellar objects filmed going into the sea. Searching the ocean floor would be the only answer, but we can't. It's just too difficult. The Pentagon's UFO Investigation Department is officially studying transmedium objects. We've said that. So even the government's entertaining the idea in the US. Certain US officials support the idea that the oceans are also a potential location for all kinds of things. We know that there are subsurface oceans on other planets, not water oceans necessarily, but oceans nevertheless, which would make them undetectable by us with our technology. And we know that our technology doesn't work properly on our own oceans. So it's all theoretically possible. Is it likely? Well, that's really hard to actually say. Now, the first thing is that alien species would need a habitable planet to live on. Actually, no. It depends on what you call habitable. What's habitable to an alien might not be habitable to us. So that's a dumb comment to make. It might be possible that they could live out within areas that we would consider non-inhabitable. Does that make sense? So the depths of the ocean, where for us it's impossible, might be just a walk in the park for them. And if they have a sealed unit ship down there, they could manage that as well. One theory is that extraterrestrials are all robots, in which case they could live anywhere that robot could go, making it very different. We know that certain organisms can live even in a vacuum in space, and could, as we see with certain jellyfish, they can get organisms together, making a thin transparent shell that maintains a livable temperature and pressure through greenhouse effect, even in a vacuum or underwater. So there's that possibility. You could have free-floating alien colonies out there. It's theoretically possible. What does that mean to us? Hard to say, I suppose. But it's absolutely possible. Now, as I said, we've also got the idea of the Nommo, or the mermaids of the Dogon, being alien. So maybe they know better. The Dogon knew all about the Dog Star, because that's where the Nommo come from. So they are absolutely some kind of water being, according to the Dogon. They are masters of the water, the teachers. So there is that. And they apparently taught the Dogon a whole lot of farming techniques so that they could live well. And they live very well for a so-called primitive pastoral group. They do all right, which is pretty cool. More than that, I don't have the answers. But nevertheless, we shall keep going and see where it ends. We've pretty much covered 90% of what is out there. Factual examples, as I say, the Tuskegee syphilis study that was done on people, where people were either left untreated or were deliberately infected, that came out after a whistleblower leaked it. Project Mockingbird, wiretapping American journalists to identify the sources of leaks of classified information, was revealed to the public in 2007, so they do spy on you. The Lavon affair, the 1954 Israeli false flag operation, in which Egyptian Jews were recruited by Israeli military intelligence to plant bombs in American, British and Egyptian-owned civilian targets in Egypt in order to frame Egyptians, apparently was true. The Gulf of Tonkin incident, second attack, which was the primary justification for the escalation of the US involvement in the Vietnam War, was in fact done by the US. Just saying. And a whole lot of mass surveillance programs done by Edward Snowden in 2013, exposing them all, that the NSA did to collect private citizens' information for so-called national security. So a lot of conspiracies turned out to be true. Now, we now will then say, what about the extraterrestrial life and the faked moon landing? Were they even real? Some people say they weren't and there's no proof. Certain mass shootings that were done, like Sandy Hook shooting and even maybe the 9/11 attacks, were done by the government itself, according to certain conspiracies. That isn't proved. But it's proved that governments do cover up. So that's what conspiracy theories say. Does it matter? Well, I don't know. But the next thing, which we are not going to get into tonight, but which I think we do need to start getting into is, all right then, what about the idea of secret societies and the New World Order? Powerful secret elites that run the world, the Illuminati, the Freemasons, Epstein's Island. What can we say about any of that? Well, certainly these things absolutely seem to exist. Some do exist. So I think that's a place we are going to go next. Now, an interesting thing that they also say the government covers up is that certain alternative medical cures, energy sources and what have you do exist, but the governments cover them up in order to control power. Now, I actually did meet a guy who was a farmer that developed a alternate fuel source that worked on any of his vehicles without modification from a kind of aloe. And it worked. And he was bought out and had to sign documents swearing never to make it or talk about it ever again by Shell. And he buggered off to America with millions, and I don't blame him. But he had invented one, and it's never been seen again. So, yeah. The idea of mind control programs, do you think the governments do this? I think they do. I think social media is one of them, just for that. They say that Area 51 is used for also not just for aliens, but time travel, teleportation, and weather weapon study, possibly. They say the government hides data about medicines. Oh, yes, they frickin' do. Especially side effects. Media manipulation? Absolutely, it's not even a question. I've been a journalist for over 20 years. I'm telling you. I'm absolutely telling you that the media is manipulated, and I know it for fact. So, right off bat, like it or lump it. Is there such a thing as a deep state where there's another government controlling the actions of the official and visible government? Possible. Are there hidden histories and ancient civilizations that the governments hide? I don't know about that one. That one could go either way. It's possible, but there are certainly plenty of conspiracies about it. Is the Earth really flat and not round? And is the government covering it up? That's a very popular one. I personally do not ascribe to it myself. Just saying. Are there secret government bunkers and survival plans that only the elite will go into? Hell yes, of course there are. Is New World Order a thing? Yes, possibly, and we are going to have to go into that in depth. Because it seems that the answer is yes. And it's run via money, by and large. So is there financial and economic control? Of course there bloody well is. To not believe in that is stupid. Governments do it to other governments all the time. Of course they do it to their own people as well, to keep things in-house. Absolutely. It's not even a question. So the New World Order, 1,000,000%. It's real. We will do that starting up the next lives. The question of, is there more out there that we don't know? I think there's absolutely no doubt in my mind. Are chemtrails or contrails made by the government for scientific research? Some of them I think are. Absolutely. I think that there are real studies into creating weather and more well, this is the thing. There's so many things that we just don't know. And I think there's a lot hidden. We know that the problem we have in the modern day is that there's so much AI, you can't trust anything even when there's a video of it. So it could be real, it could be fake, and you will never know. It is a serious issue in every possible way. We don't have answers like that. We would like answers, but we don't have them. So yeah, with all of this said, all I can tell you is that there is more out there. We don't know what it is, but it's out there. And we are going to at least make an attempt to explore all of it. I think conspiracy theories and maybe more about secret societies is absolutely, both historical and current, is going to have to be discussed. There's not even a question in that regard. So what do you think? Was the moon landing real or was it AI? I don't think it was AI, but was it fake? I would also want to believe it's real. There is argument for why it may have been faked, because of the space race against the communists, and it was a very, very big deal back in the day. Whether it still is another question, but absolutely. But could we have got there? I think it's feasible, given that we have done other rocket launches out that way and all the rest of it. I think it's absolutely a possibility. I think it probably was real. There are issues surrounding, but I think to say it was absolutely fake would be foolish. The moon's not that far away, technically. So, doable? I think doable. I'm going to go with doable. Yeah, I'm going to go with doable. From all the things I've seen and read, and I have gone into it a fair bit, I don't think it was fake. There's plenty of conspiracies that say it was fake. But I think that one did happen, in my opinion. Is it true? Don't know. Have I proof? No. I'm not in a position to prove anything in that regard. So don't know for sure. But I'm inclined to say true. But with all of that said and all the rest of it, I'm going to basically say that we've kind of reached the end of the ocean's conspiracies. There are plenty more conspiracies to do, but what else can we talk about? On my list of things to look into, I've got dragons, snakes, the existence of the soul, time travel, the fairy, secret societies. What do you think? Anything to add to that? Are there any more places or things you would like looked into, perhaps? Do let me know. Send me a message, drop me a DM, all the rest of it, and we will see what we can do. But until then, that's pretty damn cool. I'm going to throw that out there. Yeah, that is really cool. I am kind of envious. So Spooky has seen the International Space Station with his own eyes. I really would like very much to be able to see that. But yeah, no, I'm a believer in the space side of things. That is so cool. I take it you own a decent telescope. But with all of that, I am afraid it is sad to say, but we are reaching what we can refer to as the end of our nightly chat. It has been 2 hours, which I think is more than sufficient. I thank all of you who have joined in and who have been a part of this rather fascinating discussion. I do hope you will join me for the next one tomorrow night. And yeah, that is cool. Good enough to see most of the planets in our solar system. That's what counts. That's what we want. I absolutely do approve. So yes, that sounds amazing. I do like a good telescope, though my current personal demand or desire, if you will, is not for a telescope so much as for a small monocular for when I'm out and about hiking. That's what I really want. But alas, I cannot afford it at the moment. But in due time, we shall get to such things, I hope. But yes, thank you to all. Have a wonderful evening. Sleep deep. Sleep sweet. But sleep with one eye open. And remember, the government never sleeps. You might not have to worry about the things that go bump in the night, but you absolutely do have to worry about the government that's watching you, even now. Sleep sweet, sleep deep, good night, and have a good one.